Everything that I've read, praise the Lord. Worship Christ with the
Hello there, my lovely viewers. It is I, Max from Facts and Fiction Studios, with spectacular news. Yes, the thumbnail is not clickbait. Finally, there's been an update to the promised upcoming Ben 10 comic and what? A new TV series in development? But before I get to it, here's a refresher. In October 2025 at New York Comic Con, it was revealed through a press release from Dynamite Entertainment that a new Ben 10 comic series is being worked on. Considering Ben 10 has had comic books before, this may not seem like a big deal on the surface, but this particular one is special. Among the things we learned at the time was that Man of Action co-creator, aka one of the creators of Ben 10, Joe Casey, will be set to write the new Ben 10 series. The artist will be Robert Kerry, who has worked on Outsiders and Jennifer Blood. The comic is set to take a more, and I quote, action-forward approach to its storytelling than past franchise entries, and Joe Casey calls it, quote, the best Ben 10 has ever been, even comparing this new take on the character as its, quote, ultimate or absolute Ben 10. If somehow you're not comic savvy, he was basically comparing it to two really popular reimagined stories of fan favorite characters in Marvel and DC. Just search up Ultimate Universe Marvel and Absolute Universe DC to get a better understanding. So yeah, Ben 10 fans were pretty excited for this comic. Can anyone blame us? The last Ben 10 series we got was the reboot, which ended all the way back in 2021. And sure, it divided the fan base, but it had its moments and good specials. The comic was originally meant to launch this month, but behind the scenes stuff that Joe Casey said, and I quote, sometimes happens in publishing, derailed those plans. So fans waited until finally Dynamite Entertainment later this month released a peek into the first issue and the synopsis for this fresh new take on Ben 10. It reads, Ben Tennyson and his family are out camping when a meteor crashes nearby. When the inquisitive boy investigates, he finds a mysterious omnitrix among the wreckage. From that moment, a new superhero is born. This new telling will allow Casey and Tim to expand the scale and scope of these pivotal beloved moments. A range of real-world impacts will be explored, with the military getting peripherally involved and a bona fide alien threat.
But wait! There's more!
We also got to see some awesome 5 comic covers, each with its own unique design by members of Man of Action and another by Eric Kenneth and David Tran. I won't go into detail, but damn! Just look at these! Which variant cover is your favorite? I honestly would like to know in the comments. Me? I'm stuck between the surreal artwork by Casey and this cover by Eric Kenneth and David Tran. That's not to say the others aren't good. Even this simplistic cover has its appeal that I quite like. With that said, don't get the wrong idea about one thing. These covers, at least most of them, won't reflect the comic's art style. According to CBR, each member of Man of Action will have a say in the overall direction of the series, while each member will take a turn writing an arc or two on the story. Joe Casey is the first member of the team to do it. So, what do these comic pages tell us? Not much, but it does give us a good peek at what's to come. The 5-page peek is an almost one-to-one repeat of the first episode of the series. Of course, there are differences. Instead of cargo pants, Ben now wears shorts. Grandpa Max now wears glasses and has facial hair, which actually looks good on him in my opinion. He may not be as overweight as he was in the original series, though that's kind of hard to discern at the moment. Then there's Gwen, who now wears a vest and not a shirt with her signature cat logo. About the art style, personally I'm a little mixed on it. That's not to say it's bad, just not what I expected. Then again, I was conflicted with Omniverse design when it was first revealed, and now I've got used to it. So I have faith this comic's art style will eventually grow on me. At least it looks more mature than Omniverse, especially with the detail to Grandpa Max's face and eyes. Gosh, I still hate those dot eyes. With that said, this panel of this military officer has piqued my interest. The military was rarely involved in the original series. The closest they got involved was to Lieutenant Steele and the Black Ops military unit, STECT. And that was in one episode. One! That is, if you exclude that one scene from that Dream episode. So the fact they are going to be involved in events from the first episode really intrigues me. The CBR article did say that this comic takes us back to the place where Man of Action always wanted to do on TV but never did. And considering Joe Casey in the same article reiterates that, quote, this is the most absolute Ben has ever been, I'm willing to look past the art style and see what unfolds. But Max, what about the 6 series of Ben 10 you mentioned earlier? I hear you say. Well, unlike the comic book series, the new TV series has not been confirmed by Man of Action, Cartoon Network or Warner Bros. Discovery. So what I have to say should be taken with a pinch of salt. With that said, I wouldn't bother to include this segment unless it had some weight. It's not like this channel is monetized. So, an artist named Andre Torres shared a video on his Instagram that basically showed the different projects he worked on in 2025. One of those projects included Ben 10, particularly in the first half of the video. He isn't just any artist, he's a visual dev, concept artist, illustrator, and, according to comicbook.com, an animator with a long history in the entertainment industry. He has worked with certain big studios like Netflix, Disney, Marvel, and of course Warner Bros. Discovery and Cartoon Network, the former of which owns the latter, with his most notable work being X-Men 97 and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The thing which adds more to the credibility of this potential 6 series for Ben 10 is that in his portfolio it was mentioned that he's working on an NDA TV show listed for Warner Bros. / Cartoon Network. You get it now? That could be the 6 Ben 10 series being worked on. Just to be clear, I could not find this stated on his website or Instagram. I don't have an Instagram account, so my search there is limited, and on his website, nothing on that. Maybe I didn't look in the right places, or maybe he had to remove it. Whatever the case is, trustworthy sources have repeated it, so I think that mention of the NDA TV show is reliable. A link to his account and the video will be in the description for you to check it out. I just want to give a rundown on what we see here. The first part of the video with Ben 10 shows him in active combat with some forearms looking aliens, a giant bull-like creature, all seemingly at different unspecified moments. Like in this one, Ben appears to have transformed into a chicken type alien, and this one, which has Ben in mid-transformation as he blocks an attack with a sword. Then there's the other part of the Ben 10 segment where we see what appears to be concept art for different animal-themed aliens, 2 of which I think look cool. In my opinion, I hope his 6 series for Ben 10 doesn't lean heavily on animal-themed aliens. Don't get me wrong, with the right design and fitting skill or power set, they can be fan favorites, but sometimes it can feel uncreative and even limiting one's creativity. But now, some of the Ben 10 fanbase are treating this as leaks for a 6 series, and they are speculating. After all, if this is indeed a leak to an actual series that's in development, it raises the question of what direction it's taking. Will it be a continuation of Ben 10 Prime or another reboot? Will it follow 16-year-old Ben or focus on Ben as a 10-year-old again? Ben looks older in this mid-transformation, and you can even argue in this shot here that he looks older. Plus, there's the pose he makes that is strikingly similar to this pose from Ben 10 Omniverse. However, you see this close-up and far angles that kind of make him seem like 10-year-old Ben. What do you think though? Tell me in the comments. Me? I'm open to either a continuation or a reboot, 16-year-old Ben or 10-year-old Ben. But if I'm to state my preference, I would like a continuation of Ben 10 Prime. I know, some fans would disagree, and that's fine. Their reasons are valid. But I feel Ben 10 Omniverse did not fully develop the character well enough. By that, I mean his character in general and his mastery of the Omnitrix. Actually, when it comes to the Omnitrix, it feels like he regressed on that aspect. I gotta admit, Omniverse had a few misses, especially when it came to his love life. I'm fine that Ben and Julie aren't a couple anymore, but they could have at least addressed the fact that the breakup happened due to a misunderstanding. So yeah, that's what I think. I'm sure some fans will prefer if the Ben 10 franchise were handled in a similar direction to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know, basically having every future series given a different tone, newer stories, and done by different creative teams for future generations. But, yeah, I'd rather that not be the case. It could work at first, but I feel the core of Ben 10 risks getting lost and might end up being divisive amongst old and new generation fans. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. For now, I'm sticking to a continuation of Ben 10 Prime. As for the 6 series itself, if that artist is indeed working on it, I don't think we'll hear anything official about it, like an announcement, until somewhere between the summer of 2026 and the spring of 2027. That's my personal view. It could be anytime or just not happen at all. So, what do you think? You excited about the comic? What's your impression of the art style and the direction of the comic? Do you think there's a chance we'll be getting a 6th series? Whatever you got to say, let me know in the comments below. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching. This has been Max from Facts and Fiction Studios, and I'll see you next time.